I gotta ask you about working with fighters. Showtime does that with fighters every time. Manny Pacquiao, you guys put up some of his fights. He's fighting Errol Spence Jr. I know it's a PBC on Fox card, but you know what Manny Pacquiao is about. Him to take this challenge at 42 years old against Errol Spence Jr. How do you take that just as a fan and as a network president of Showtime Sports? Like, what do you?
He's an amazing fighter.
Yeah.
He's an amazing fighter. I mean, a little bit like Nonito Donaire, that we have tonight. Still going strong at 39 years old, and coming off one of his strongest performances in New Year. But Pacquiao, even at his age, he doesn't seem to be slowing down. I think a lot of people said, thought that Keith Thurman would win that fight easily, and they were surprised. And I think Spence has to be very careful. Manny is unlike any other fighter on earth. He has a different style, a different movement. We've seen him in with some of the best, and the only one who's really handled him was Floyd. He and Marquez went back and forth. Errol is a great fighter, very strong. Fundamentally, if not the best pound for pound, then certainly one of the top 2 or 3. But it's a risky fight against Pacquiao. The 42 years doesn't mean anything. He still has all the movement, the quickness, the athleticism. I think it's a really intriguing fight.
Speaking of PBC on Fox, the rumors are that their deal with Fox is up towards the end of this year, I think. Can you comment about possibly maybe we're going to see more? Does that mean the potential of possibly seeing PBC and Showtime working a little closer now, moving on forward, or anything like that?
Look, we would be all for it. I don't really know the status of the PBC deal with Fox. If there's an opportunity to, get some of those fighters back on Showtime, look, we want all the best fights on Showtime. That wouldn't be the best thing for the sport. I mean, we want other networks in the sport, but selfishly, we'd love to. Have guys like Caleb Plant on and David Morrell. They've got some really good fighters who've been on Fox. So, if those fighters become available to us, then great. I think, our work speaks for itself. And, we're going to continue trying to grow the sport and trying to do what's best for the sport as a whole.